and gentlemen, welcome to the Wednesday Call Live. Hosted today by special guest host Terry Edwards and James Coleman. Filmed in front of a live studio audience in beautiful Burlington, North Carolina. Brought to you by AM Studios, featuring in-depth training and the latest Lance news. Now, let's hear it for your host, Terry Edwards and James Coleman. Woo! Woo! That's what I'm talking about. Woo! That's right. That's right. That's right, Terry.
I'm Terry Edwards, and this is my buddy,
James Coleman.
Woo! Albright done left us the keys to the house.
Do you know what that means, Bob?
We got a bunch of nosy neighbors, so we got to be good.
Inside the circle of you. Okay.
That's right.
We're going to be good today.
We're going to see how long that lasts. So, welcome everybody to the TWC. It is on fire up in here.
Yes!
I know it's on fire up in your house, and we got watch parties going on all across America. People clustering together to watch the TWC, which is awesome, man. It's blowing up like Mount Fuji. So, as you can tell, I ain't Andy. But I'm standing instead for Andy on today. Right now, him and the team, they're out in Denver. They're on the way to Denver, Colorado. That's right. And that crew out there blowing up like Mount Fuji. And on tomorrow, everybody say tomorrow.
Tomorrow!
We're going to be in your city.
That's right. Atlanta, baby.
Atlanta on tomorrow. So first of all, Denver, Colorado, 2 to 5 boot camp. Tonight, 7 o'clock. Shoulder playing and all that. You still got time to get one more there. Okay?
Yeah, you do.
Go ahead and place an ad down in Atlanta. Call some
That's
resumes.
right.
Do what you got to do to get people down to Atlanta on tomorrow, because we know it's always hot down there in Atlanta. And then the team will be back here on Friday morning to talk about the crazy week and the picture. I mean, like, they had over 165 people last night in Houston.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
And then the night before that, they were in Jacksonville, Florida. Had over 100 people down there at Andy Riddle and Chris Long's new office, which is amazing. So we got a lot of good stuff coming up. Also, Albright will be traveling, if you could pull it up, Billy, October the 10th through the 12th. He will be down in Rancho Cucamonga, California.
Woo!
I did good on that one. So like a little instant thunder for the West Coast. And then October the 15th through the 16th, he'll be out in Las Vegas. That's right. So that's what's going on as far as upcoming travel. We got some contests going on.
You got some contests going on? Absolutely.
Explain it to them.
But first, let's talk about these people that just won Paris.
Eiffel Tower!
Oui.
That's right.
So we just had 2 more people qualify for Paris.
That's right.
We got Zach Wright. Let's get up for Zach Wright. Woo!
That's right. He's brand new too.
He's brand new.
On the Andy Riddle. That's right.
Brand new. This year.
Already qualified.
Wow.
Let me tell you something. Look,
Tell 'em.
everybody got a shot to win Paris. With the amount of points that Mr. Andy Albright is giving away, you got a shot. And here's what I want to say. If you're in the room right now, or you listening right now, and you got about 30 or 35,000 issue paid right now, right now, all you need to do is issue pay 7 apps a week.
That's all.
7 apps a week, Terry. And look, and I'm talking about not even that the company's average at $85 per app. I'm talking 7 apps a week at $65 per app.
Oh, so you're being conservative.
I'm being conservative, Terry. I want to make sure they can make it.
That's right.
So everybody still has a shot at making it. So not only did Zach Wright just win Paris, but the infamous Paul and Sam.
Sam think he's sexy when he down.
I know that's right.
Up in Winchester, Virginia, making it happen.
Making it happen.
We're fired up for Zach Wright. First year, guys.
Awesome.
Already done knocked it out. And now he's working on Switzerland. And Paul and Sam Manakino. Now, I hate to disappoint you. We don't have updates for the dog days and summer contest. Oh, get over it.
But
keep an eye on band.
Keep an eye on band. Andy is going to update it on band, so you get to see you know, where you at in the contest right now. And here's what I want to say. We're going to talk about this new contest that's going to launch starting September 1.
That's right.
But for those of you that's in the hunt for this August contest, don't let up. We still got 2 days left to win. And I'll talk about how important those 2 days are for the people that's out there that's going after it.
That's right. That's
Talk
right.
about that contest, Terry.
September, y'all ready for the September contest?
Yeah!
I can get used to these contests.
I can get used to it,
It started out with a $100,000 contest in March.
It felt good winning that $10,000, Terry.
You won $10,000.
Dang, it felt good, Terry. Woo! Yes.
I'm glad I got friends that if I ever need gas money, it ain't nothing but a thing.
I got you, buddy.
So, and then we did a 3-month contest, and it gave away $250,000.
I got $10,000 of that too, Terry.
Got $10,000 of that.
I love Andy Albright. Woo!
And he gonna tell y'all how he been winning all this money. And then we got another contest right now going on. In September, Andy is giving away another $100,000. See, this is the thing that I don't want to happen. That you to take for granted, or for us to take for granted that Andy would continue to do this. Because that's the thing about doing something on a regular basis. It gets very familiar to people, and it kind of sometimes may lose its little luster or whatever. But these contests are put in places to help us get excited and get people moving. You know,
that's right.
People that haven't did one app to do one.
Do one. That's right.
People that's doing 5, maybe they can stretch and do 7. And like everybody wins because of these contests. So if we're not promoting these contests to our teams, what you say last night? It's like hustling backwards.
Hustling backwards.
That ain't no good. Right?
You said something, Terry, like you don't want them to take this for granted.
Right.
I don't want them to take it for granted either, Terry, because here's what I don't want to happen. I don't want them to say, well, you know what? I'm not going for it this month. I'll wait till Andy run the contest the next month. And guess what? He don't do it. Right. Now they lost out, buddy.
Don't put off tomorrow what you could do today.
That's right.
Hands on our watches now and
right now.
So let's talk about the contest right now.
That's right.
That's right. So this is the September Quad Slam. This
Quad Slam.
All day long, baby.
All day, baby.
All day. So we got a producer side and we got a recruiting side. Now, annuities. Somebody say annuities.
Annuities.
If you're not filling out these green sheets, Chris Norris is getting ready to kick you in your throat. We're leaving so much money. There's so much money sitting on the sidelines. National Western Life talk about it all the time. How much money is sitting in checking accounts, earning 0.01%. You know, we got money sitting in 401ks. So your job is not to close it. Your job is just to find it. And once you find it, you put Chris Norris on. Sick him, Chris. Get him. Light him up. That's big right there. So annuities, 5% up to 10,000 points for each annuity, and then a maximum of 2,000 annual premium on life business. All right. So let's talk about it here. Now, the way this contest is structured is a lot different. He done broke it out into 3 categories. Somebody say 3.
3.
The first category are for people who paid their first piece of business in 2018. These are brand new babies.
Brand new babies.
These are brand new cousins of ours, okay? 2018. And he's going to recognize the top 33 producers and the top 33 recruiters in that category, okay? So the first place prize is going to be $3,333 for producing, and the same thing for recruiting. So, and it goes down. Second place, $2,500. Third place, $2,000. Fourth place, $1,500. Fifth place, $1,000. 6 through 10, $500. 11 through 15, $250. 16 through 20, $200. 21 through 26, $150, and 27 to 33rd place, $100 bonus. This is extra. Somebody say extra.
Extra.
You keep all the commissions. This is non-chargebackable.
That's right.
That's right.
Y'all thinking about Christmas money? People are going to Walmart already putting their layaways away.
Yeah, it is.
This could take care of somebody's child's Christmas right here.
Yeah, it can.
Just by going out and doing what we're supposed to do. And then the other part I was thinking about, in corporate America, going into the fourth quarter, we was always watching the budget. Trying to figure out, okay, how we going to end the year? Or do we need to cut back? Do we need to let some people go? Those are conversations that's going on in boardrooms across America right now. But in the alliance, we're talking about giving you more money.
More money!
With more money. So that's the way that's going to work out. And then the same thing on the recruiting side. To be sure, Donna is going to probably post this on Band as well. And then the next category of people are people who were contracted and issue paid their first piece of business in 2017. Now, same breakdown, all right? Y'all tracking? Now, the cool part about it is, if you got somebody in 2018, they can come up and win that money, and then come in and slam some of the 2017 people.
Hold up, Terry, hold on, wait, hold on. So, Mia Stone, right, just got started this year.
That's right.
So you tell me, go back down to the first. So Mia Stone is going to compete with just the people that got started in 2018.
That's right.
And she can win both of these and then turn around and slam somebody here?
Yeah.
Good God Almighty.
So you're looking at, that's $10,000 right there.
Yeah.
All right. And then, the last category is the rest of us. The old timers.
The old timers. The old heads.
We done been around here for a while.
Been
around the block or two. We know how this thing works. But this is the thing I want to say to the veterans. And
they got to hear this.
I'm talking to myself too.
You're talking to me too.
I'm talking to you.
Absolutely.
Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just telling it. Veterans, we're supposed to set the example.
Yeah, we are.
We give people an opportunity and an example. We can't be letting these 17s and 18s come up in here and just slam us in and kind of throw us around like rag dolls. We got to have some
bragging rights
about ourselves.
Bragging rights.
We got to do this for the honor of the old timers.
Honor. Yeah.
So I'm gonna try to get up in here and get me a little extra money. Because, Christmas is coming, baby.
Christmas.
So,
baby need new shoes.
The crazy part about it is the 17,
the 18 and 17,
and the 18 producers, they can slam all the way up into the veterans' money. So if you go out there and go crazy like Brandon Beal, Peter Orozco, them boys.
So they got an opportunity. That's why I said they got an opportunity to make about $20,000
extra. This month.
God Almighty.
The month of September. Right. That's crazy talk. So that's the way that contest is going to roll, okay? I am fired up about it because I thought that the fourth quarter, coming up on the fourth quarter, would slow down because people thinking about turkey and trimmer.
We about to get crazy.
Christmas for you guys who are, more articulate. But they say trimmer where I come from. But this is the thing. So you can actually make
double
a lot of money because people bought houses back in the summer and April, and the leads are coming in.
Right, and that's the one thing, Terry. When I got started in the business, one of the questions I had, is there like a peak time for people to buy some of the product we selling? And they was like, yeah, James. I'm like, when? They said fourth quarter. And I'm thinking fourth quarter. My background is retail, so I'm thinking, what does insurance got to do with the fourth quarter?
Right.
And they said, James, here's why. School done started back. People are not taking as many vacations.
That's right.
They settling down, so they checking their mailboxes more often, and they sending the leads back into us. And on top of that, that daylight saving time things happen, and so you spring forward, fall backwards.
That's
so
right.
they lose some time, and so now the days get shorter and the nights get longer. They're in the house more.
Right.
I'm like, this is fantastic.
I mean that, bro. That's fired up, man.
So I better get on it.
Hey, so if they want to win this contest, James, you've been winning all the money. I mean, like a good chunk of it.
Brent Swindell been winning all the money.
He got so much cash in his house, his cell phone be blacking out in the middle of conversations. I'm like, bro, you got to get rid of some of that cash from coming over there.
I know. I'm thinking about the same thing, Terry. I need to go to Brent Swindell's house.
Tell the people what they need to be doing to win this contest, and you take it over.
Absolutely. So, as you heard Terry say, I won the $10,000 in the March contest. I won another $10,000 at the family reunion contest that Mr. Andy Albright won. And this stuff, to me, is not rocket science. And the reason why I say it's not rocket science because you have to make a decision on what it is you're going after.
Okay.
You either in or you're out.
That's right.
Right? So that's the question you got to ask yourself. Am I in or am I out?
Okay.
So where's that slide at, Billy?
Right here. Right here.
This one here. Push it here?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the buckets that I operate in when it comes down to what it is I'm going after. Behavior plus processes equal results. So for me, I'm like, what result do I want to accomplish? I want to win the contest, right? I need to come in to win the contest. So the results is I have to pay a certain amount of business in order to be in the runnings for the contest. I knew that, but I also knew that, hey, we got some very, very high caliber performers in the alliance, right? So I got to also keep track of what it is they doing.
That's right.
So one thing I would do whenever on the activity call when they announce the numbers, I would listen to the top 10 people and see what business they wrote, and I will match those names up to what was on the contest scoreboard. Right? And I say, okay, well, this person did X, Y, and Z. This person's name wasn't mentioned. I got a shot to take out this person or that person. Y'all know Andy got this book called The Activity Book, and you use to keep score?
That's right.
So I use to keep score in the contest as well with what my competitors are doing. Right? And so I said, hey, I got to run 20 appointments. If I got to run a minimum of 20 appointments, the first question is, that's my results I want to accomplish. What processes do the alliance have in place in order to make that happen?
Explain it.
We got leads, Terry?
Oh, we got them, baby.
We got a whole bunch of leads. Here's what I like to say when it comes down to the leads. Most people got involved with the alliance for that reason. They did not have to harass friends and family.
That's right.
So I don't understand for the life of me, Terry, why anybody would get involved with this opportunity and have that kind of tool and resource available to them and don't take advantage of it.
Right.
That's why we talked about last night. It's like hustling backwards. What are you doing? What are you doing? So I looked at the processes that we have in place and everything to help me get the results I want to accomplish. Then I had to ask myself, do my behaviors coincide with the processes?
Talk about them behaviors, Bo.
You know, so what are those behaviors? You're right, Terry. So the behaviors is, first of all, did I order the leads? Yeah, Mr. Clay Merge can tell you I sure did. I ordered the leads because I got to have them. I'm trying to accomplish a result right here. So not only do I order the leads, but guess what I have to do?
What else?
I got to call them, Terry.
Oh, that's what I remember.
That's the behaviors.
That's right.
I got to call them. Okay, so got to book the appointments, right? The other piece is, guess what I had to do? I had to show up at the appointment.
That's right.
And I mean show up when the person is there. Do not go to that house and the person's not there and walk in that door. That's called the be in need. You are going to jail.
I mean that.
All right?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Anybody got time for that, Terry? So, you got to put your schedule in place. So my thing is this. These are the 4 buckets that I operate in. Resources, schedule, activity, and consistency. Do I have the resources to run the 20 appointments?
Okay.
Is my schedule indicative of me being able to make the phone calls and run the appointments? What does that look like? This right here is a problem for a lot of folks. You know, a lot of people want the results of Brant Swindell or Jasmine Lightbourne or Michelle Alleman, just to name a few, but they don't want to stick to this piece right here, the schedule.
Oh, that's big.
See, I've learned to get good at sticking to the schedule because of what it is I want to get accomplished. Okay, so once I looked at my schedule and understood that my schedule was indicative of to me having time to dial and also having time to run the appointments.
Okay.
So now I have to look at the activity. Was I going to do the activity? I did the activity, as you can tell, right?
That's right. You
have to do the activity. It makes no sense to have something scheduled and you do not do it.
That's right, Jay.
It makes no sense.
That's hustling.
You have to do the activity. So once I did the activity, now my next piece was how consistent. Go back to that. Go back to that. This one here. So the question is, how consistent was I with the activity? Week in, week out, I got leads in addition to my GMR. In addition to that. And here's why, because when I'm looking at it, I'm looking at, do I have enough resources? So one of the problems I struggle with is that I have my leads from my GMR and I have these referrals that I done got good at.
There they go.
And I'm like, which one do I dial? Right? Now, I could dial all of the referrals, but guess what? We got people that is calling in, mailing in. They are dependent on us to give them a call and help them.
That's right.
Why would we let it sit there? If you are letting your leads sit there and not calling those people, this is me. You are doing those people a disservice.
That's right.
They are expecting a phone call from you. They're expecting somebody to come out there and sit down with them to find a solution for them.
That's right.
That is your job. If you're out there as an agent, you're producing, that is your job. To pick that phone up, call that client, book an appointment with them, and find a solution for them. So for me, I had to get real good at this, you know, and being consistent with it week in and week out and tracking my numbers. So for that March Madness contest that Andy did, if anybody paid attention to it, the very last update, I was in 10th place on that contest. Okay? And I had told Miss Diane Lampy that I would come in 5th place. How did I know I was going to come in 5th place? I believed it right here.
Okay. Tell
I believed it right. What do you believe right here?
Okay.
Are you committed right here to making it happen?
That's big.
See, I was committed right here. And I went out there and I wrote and paid $23,000 the very last week of the contest.
Wow.
And here's what I tell you. You heard me, Terry and I say, it's the last week. We got 2 days left.
Right.
Don't give up.
That's right.
It's not over with.
No, it ain't.
You still have the opportunity to go out there today and write business and still get an issue paid by end of the day on Friday.
That's right.
But if you're mentally checked out thinking, hey, it's only 2 days left, I can't win, the heck with it, guess what? It's not going to happen.
So ain't.
I fought every day to the very end and believed that I'm coming in 5th place on this. And I went out there and I took care of those clients. I built relationship with the carriers. I submitted those apps. I called them in. See, the other thing I did, I knew, because that was the week of Easter week, so we had some of the companies closed. Some of them closed early. I had to know that stuff going in. You know what they say? Proper preparation prevents poor performance.
That's right.
You got to prepare. You have to know what the scheme of things look like going in to get the final results of it. How are you preparing? Are you planning in any shape, form, or fashion? Because if you're not, know what they say, if you don't have a plan, then you plan to fail.
That's right. You got one.
What is your plan on winning? What is your plan on not giving up? What does that look like? You know, this is why, you know, my wife and I was able to win in that contest and then win in the following contest. Our minds were made up in what it is we wanted to get done. My question to you all out there, is your mind made up? Are you going to quit before the finish line? Keep running. You have a shot.
That's right.
Don't give up. It is there for the taking. If you can look at this right here.
Tell them about it, bro.
Did I know this is money?
Over 17,000.
This is money.
People.
Over 17,000 A-leads. I don't know about y'all, but I be jacked out of my mind right now. 17,000? Let me tell you something. This is, when I say this is money, let me tell you, once again, your top producers in the company are spending money on this right here.
That's right.
And all other sources. Where else you going and you getting the quality of A-leads that we have in the company? Where you going? I mean, look.
This right here, James. Okay, so this is cray right here. This is cray. So we got people that fill out these forms, right? The women put their height and weight on them, sending it into a blind P.O. box. We walk in with an advantage off the gate. You know what I'm saying? We already know how much you weigh, lady. Then Clay them done come up with these TV leads. So just this way it goes down. So they sitting there watching The Price is Right before The Bold and the Beautiful. Commercial come on TV. Rates never increase. Your benefits never decrease. Guaranteed. Call this 1-800 number. They call the 1-800 number. Yeah, I need some burial insurance. Yeah, my name is Patty. My code word is Foxy. And I'm 5'4", 175, a certified brick house. And I live at 123 North Main Street. take a left on the corner, come down the road, there's the third mailbox on the right. That's what they are telling our people.
Right.
So we call up, we got 5,000 of those people who have already called saying, I want some, and we ain't got enough people to call. Can you imagine Patty sitting on her couch? She done called the 1-800 number. She probably done missed the intro to the Bold and the Beautiful. Because she probably still got one of them rotary dial phones. She
Taking forever, huh?
She done messed up. She got click.
All over.
Can you imagine Patty done went through all the trouble. She done called in, done gave us her height and weight. Her code word is Foxy. We ain't gonna ask no questions where that come from. But she don't get a phone call back. How do you think Patty feel? Patty is probably saying, them people so busy, they don't even think my little situation matters. That's what's going, like, we got
5,000, Terry.
We finna ramp up. But we already got 5,000. We need some help.
Right.
Who are you talking to about all these leads all these families that's already requesting it? Don't tell me you got all the money that you need. Good God Almighty, 5,000.
Let me tell you, if you're not on the GMR, I'm going to encourage you to get on the GMR.
That's right.
Because these people need help. And if you're on the GMR, I'm going to ask you to increase the GMR.
That's right.
We got 5,000 people just in this particular category alone that's requesting our help.
And James, okay, so this is why I love TV leads, right? So you go up in the house, right? And you sit down at the kitchen table. Hey, baby, you want something to drink? Yeah, give me some sweet tea, some Kool-Aid or something. What you got in there? Ooh, something smell mighty good. What you got cooking? Girl, just got a pot roast in the oven. I said, well, shoot, you should have told me to come later. But listen, you called in. Kind of tell me a little bit about why you decided to reach out to us to get some help today. What are you trying to accomplish? Well, just like the commercial said, I want to make sure that my girl is taken care of so my children don't have to worry about it. Like the why is already built.
It's built, Terry.
And by them watching the freaking commercial.
It's okay, Terry.
Now this is the thing right here. Some people may think that I'm over exaggerating, but this is what, James, have you been in the houses with these before?
Terry, I go to these houses and I be like, so what made you call in? I need some insurance. They know what they want. Some people like, hey, my mama needs some insurance, my daddy needs some insurance, but we need some. They know they need this. That's why they calling in.
It's crazy. I went to a house yesterday, and it was a lady. Come to find out, she lived in this senior apartment complex. Her boyfriend died yesterday morning.
God Almighty.
So I walk up in the house. She was like, well, she told me on the phone, when you get in the parking lot, call me. I got to come down and get you. So I called. I said, yeah, I'm down here. You going to come and get me? She said, I'll be down. So I walk in the building, and her sister is with her. Her sister looking at me like, what you doing here? I was like, well, I came to see Mary. I don't know why you getting that attitude. That's why I'm looking at her. So she looking at me, I'm looking at her. I'm like, we going up to your apartment or what? I'm dismissed. She was like, well, whatever you selling, she don't need. I said, well, she the one that saw the TV commercial ad.
Not you.
And gave us this code word. And she said, well, yeah, that is her daughter's name. I said, all right, well, we're going to come on up. And Mary looked at her sister, Florine, and said, Flo, you coming with us? So we walking down the hallway going to her apartment, and long story short, she was like, well, the state gonna bury us. I'm like, what state you live in? What? I said, no, Social Security gonna give your family $255.
$250.
The funeral home might hold you for a couple of hours for $255. But after that, somebody gonna have to come up with some money to cremate you or something. She was like, shut the front door. I said, boo. Now this is Florine. Now this is Florine. Florine, the one that was being mean, right? So sat down, We went ahead and got her sister taken care of. She was like, well, this is a good thing here. I guess I better get me some. I said, if you don't want to be propped up in the funeral home, I guess you better. But what I'm saying is, a lot of times, man, you going over these houses, it's like, I don't know, it's something about these TV leads. Maybe people get together and watch TV, but you selling multiple policies in a home off of these leads.
You sure is. You know, those TV, this is gold. If you're not buying any of these, I'm going to declare that something is wrong with you. You have just been diagnosed. Something is wrong with you. These things work like hotcakes. And
then these are the top states. So if you, look, this Texas, opportunity is massive. We talk about our opportunity every week at our hotspots. This is what it is in living color. So if you ain't afraid, if you ain't scared, you can go over to Texas where everything is bigger. They got 299 of these leads. Paul, get your boys together, bro. California, 332. Brandon, Bill, and them, they're doing a good job. They can't get to everybody. Louisiana, Popeye's Chicken, 336 leads. I have a thing with food and
it's okay.
And stuff with food.
I'm with you, Terry.
Mississippi. That's right. 209. Now I think I can sell some insurance in Mississippi. I know. And Alabama, Roll Tide. What's he at? Roll Tide, 317. So you can go down there to the football game and then run 2 days of appointments, make a little money, pay for your whole trip. Write the whole thing off. I'm not enough tax attorney.
Let me say this to you. Look, so on this lead piece, here's what you got to understand. Hey, my daddy said scared money don't make money. Money on the wood made the game go good. Do you understand that you got to spend money to make money?
That's right.
My 12-year-old daughter cannot run a Kool-Aid stand without spending money to make money.
That's right.
How do you get involved with a business opportunity and you're not willing to invest any money to make money?
That's right.
Look, I was doing the numbers, and let's just say, what's those people that you use their money, what they call Visa, American Express, those people there? Yeah, you use their money, OPM, other people's money. So you're going to take $2,000 and you buy some leads, right? You're going to write about $20,000 in business.
That's right.
I'm going to say 20% of that $20,000 not going to get approved because the client going to say he got a heart of a 20-year-old and it's literally because he just had the heart transplant last week. Okay, so it's not going to go through. So that's going to leave you with $16,000 AP.
That's right.
You know, Foster's going to advance you 80% of that, right?
Yeah.
At your 0.59 contract. Do you understand? You just made $7,500 off a $2,000 investment.
That's what you call a flip right there.
What is wrong with y'all? You just made $7,500 off a $2,000 investment. Pay your $2,000 back. You got $5,500 left. Take another $2,000 and flip it again.
That's right.
What are y'all waiting for? Look, call Visa, call American Express, call Discover.
I got one.
Go ahead, Terry.
Wimpy. Y'all cue it up, Wimpy. Y'all got it in the back? Y'all ever heard of a power move? Wimpy used to say it like, if you give me a hamburger today, I will gladly pay you on Tuesday.
That's right.
So you ain't got to go to Visa.
Pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today.
That's a power move.
That's a power move right there, baby.
You just call Albright. Albright, as long as you in good standing. See, because sometimes some of our credit ain't, you know.
Well.
Visa ain't going to give it to you. Discover ain't going to give it to you. But Albright say, hey, listen. If you in good standing with the company, you've been on the GMR for a while, we'll go ahead and let you do what we call a power move, where you can get 1,000. Somebody say 1,000. $1,000 worth of leads today. And you ain't got to pay it back on Tuesday. You got a whole 30 days to pay it back. So you can get. Y'all better go to lpt.simplybook.me. Clay and his team is ready to receive your phone call.
Yeah, they is.
To receive your orders. They are standing by the lines right now. If you need a little prayer, they can do that for you too. Because sometimes you got to pray over these leads before you call them to get your mind right. You know what I'm saying? But I'm down with LPT. Y'all you know me?
You know me.
I'm down with LPT. Yeah, you know me. I'm down with LPT.
Yeah, you know me.
So y'all call LPT, the lead performance team, to find out where the leads are, where the nooks and crannies. They know where the nooks and crannies are, and explode your business. So I'm getting ready to sit down and let James get ready to share his story. But the cool part I love about James is we got started at the same time down in Atlanta.
Hot Atlanta, baby.
Hot Atlanta, baby. Woo! So me and James, we were the new kids on the block, and both trying to figure this thing out. Both came out of horrible situations.
Yeah, we did.
But it was like we was kindred spirits from day one.
Day one.
And we would talk on the phone almost every day.
Yeah.
Bro, how much do you write? Because we have been in these other pyramid things and we weren't making no money. We're like, bro, this thing really work.
What about the time, Tay, we was running behind each other at the same houses, right?
Same houses.
That was crazy.
It was cool.
Yo, the fact that we hosting a TWC today. Andy!
We better not mess it up, though.
Better not mess it up, right?
I'm so fired up because James, in a lot of ways, even though we started at the same time, he's more advanced in a lot of areas than I am. So it's just been an honor to always be able to call him and touch bases with him, check in on him. He check in on me. And then his wife, Angie, we love her. Got to hang out with her over in Hawaii and stuff like that, man. But just to have a running buddy that you can run with.
Hold up, Terry. You talked about Hawaii. Remember we like suited up, like me, you, T, and Angie, and they put.
Oh yeah, y'all had on the diaper pack.
Well, you ain't had to tell that part, Terry.
We got it on video too. But really, man, I'm honored to call you a running buddy, man. If you don't know James Coleman, you must not be plugged into the Alliance. And if you're brand new getting started, this is somebody you want to get to know. I mean, I woke up this morning and went downstairs on my computer and was looking at the issue paid reports. I'm trying to figure out, I'm strategizing. James come up in there talking about, hey, what you doing? I said, looking at these reports. He said, you ever tried this right here? Look at this right there. Look at this right here. And he was just showing me different tricks and telling me, okay, well, if it's at the end of the month, and you write this carrier, you better do it this way. I was like, bro, I had no idea. Yeah. So, like, when people come to your market, it's an advantage for you to host them at your house. Mm-hmm. Because you're going to get some nuggets that he ain't forgot to tell y'all at the hot spot. I was trying to, he had one eye open, one eye asleep. I was like, you better go to bed. He said, yeah, I guess I better get me some rest. But James, it's so glad to have you here, man. Did he not tear Greensboro up last night?
So, for those of you that don't know me out there, my wife is the better half, so I don't know what part you would call me, right? Married to a beautiful young lady by the name of Angeline. We have 3 beautiful kids. My oldest daughter, she's 27. She just graduated with a master's in mental health. While we was in Hawaii, she was kind of mad that we missed the graduation, but I'm like, this Hawaii, baby. You'll be okay. You'll be okay. And we got a son. He just graduated high school, and I got a 12-year-old daughter. I think she's going on 50. That little girl is something else. But I tell you what it was for my wife and I, and how we ended up here. You know, my wife's a breast cancer survivor. She got diagnosed in October 2010. And it was a hard blow for us because it was something that we never even saw coming, never expected it. It doesn't run in the family or anything. And one of the crazy parts is that my wife had about a $250,000 life insurance policy. It was a term that she had been paying on for years. And she said, I'm wasting my money paying this. I'm going to cancel it. And she canceled it. And about 2.5 years later, she got diagnosed with breast cancer. And it was like, wow. And at the time, we still didn't think nothing of it because, you know, I had coverage on the job. And so going through everything with my wife underwent 9 surgeries in 2 years. And going through all that, the chemo, losing all her hair and everything. When my wife, her hair was falling out, I went and I told her, if you lose your hair, I'm going to cut all mine off too. And my wife thought I was crazy because by this time we had been together all these years and she had never seen me bald-headed. So, and it was I went and cut my hair bald and I had this hat on and she didn't see it, and I went in the bathroom and took it off and I came out with my hair bald and she started crying. because she couldn't believe I just did that. But one of the hardest things for me to do as a man is have to get those clippers to shave her hair off, because every time she would comb it, it would just come out in chunks. And she was sitting there crying, and it took everything in me not to cry, you know, with her, because, you know, a lot of women identify, you know, part of their beauty with their hair and everything else.
That's right.
And I remember my wife, 3 days in, we dropped my daughter off at school, and I remember her just coming in the house, freaking out, crying like, I don't want to die, I don't want to die, I don't want to die. And I grabbed her, I said, baby, it's a breast. What's a breast amongst friends? What's a breast amongst friends?
Right.
But of course I didn't use the word breast.
Right.
My wife thought it was funny. She thought it was funny. She was laughing with all the tears in her face and grabbed me saying, I love you. I said, we're going to get through this together. And so I go to my boss in 2011 and say, hey, look, I need to get a transfer down in Miami where my wife's parents at, or down to Georgia where I got family at, to get my wife closer to her parents and also a better support system. And at the time, my boss said that, hey, look, let's revisit this conversation after this fiscal year. I was the district manager for Best Buy. I had 9 stores, 7 in Manhattan, 7 in Manhattan, 2 in Queens, and 2 in the Bronx, responsible for $570 million a year in revenue.
Wow.
And they was paying me $165,000 a year in salary. And I understood the fourth quarter and everything. So after the fourth quarter, my boss scheduled a time for me to talk. So he scheduled a time for me to talk to him in like May, right? And mind you, I had this conversation with him back in probably about September, October. But we had to get through fourth quarter, get through inventories and all that stuff with all the stores. And so when I sat down with him and brought it up, he said, hey, James, look, you got New York #1 in the company for the past 7 years. I don't think it's a good idea that we have this conversation about you leaving. Let's revisit the conversation a year or 2 from now. And I was crushed, because for the first time in my 13 years I had been with the company, I felt like a number. For the first time in 13 years, I felt like a number. And I said, hey, look, man, I'm going to get up and leave, because I'm going to say something back and you're not going to like it. I'm not going to like what you're going to say. It's not going to go well. So I'm just going to leave. And so I left, and I called my wife, doctor, and asked would she approve me to take a leave of absence. And she said yes. And I took that leave of absence, and I walked away from a $165,000 a year job to move my wife down to Georgia to get her closer to her parents. You know, because for me, I cannot put a price tag on my wife.
That's right.
Now, what I didn't anticipate was that when you got money saved up and you got none coming in and you still spending like you got more coming in, it goes real fast.
Yeah.
And so those people that come in tonight and say they're going to borrow the car, they borrowed it all right, they never gave it back. So they repossessed the cars, and the garbage can, I'm telling you, they took my garbage can, y'all. I promise you, you know, if my brother out there watching, I'm going to punch you in the face when I get back, because you should have told me they did that in Georgia. I probably would never moved there. But look, we was in a situation where we did not have the $35 to pay for the garbage can. You know, I remember my wife calling me, she's like, babe, they took the garbage can. I saw they probably giving us a new one. I don't know. It's Georgia. They don't do that in New Jersey. Let's go back to Jersey. So I called them up, and I said, hey, the garbage people took the garbage can by mistake. They said, no, Mr. Coleman, you didn't pay the $35. That's why we took it. And I had to hang that phone up and call my wife back and say, yep, they sure did take it, baby. We got our garbage can repossessed. And I'm like, they take cars in Georgia, they take garbage cans in Georgia. What else they take? You know, but I was in the situation, you know, we had to return a vacuum cleaner that we had paid like $500 for to give my daughter a Christmas. We looking through the couch for change. Lights turned off, hot water turned off and everything. I'm like, I was desperately looking for something. I was looking for something. So when I found the job, I was like happy that I found the job, but then I realized that what I stand for and what the company stood for didn't align with each other, so we had to part ways. And I was okay with that, right? And I was like, babe, I need something. And I'm not going back to work. I need something. You know, I'm going to work for me, but I got to find something. And my wife said to call Eric McGriff. And I said, no, he's selling insurance. That's not happening. Because Eric McGriff had tried to introduce this opportunity to me 2 years prior, but I thought I was too good. Little did I know. So, you know what they say? Happy wife? Happy life. So I went in the room and called him. And I said, hey, man, are you still doing insurance? He said, yes. Are you still making 6 figures? He said, yes. I said, do I have to harass friends and family in order to make money? He said, no, we got leads. This is why I'm jacked up over those leads right now today.
That's right.
And here's why that was important to me, and some of y'all out there can relate.
That's right.
I did not want my success solely predicated on me having to harass friends and family in order to make money. That makes sense?
Yeah.
So I got involved in it. And when I came out to the meeting, and I was just blown away because I'm like, in my core, I needed somebody that I can follow.
That's right.
I needed somebody that was going to be able to believe in me, that can take me further. I needed somebody that had some integrity, some ethics, that mirrored the same values that I mirrored, right, and that I live by. I needed somebody that was going to uplift me and not point the finger at me and judge me based on my past.
That's right.
I need somebody to see me for me.
That's right.
And I found that in Mr. Andy Albright and the Alliance.
That's right.
I remember coming out to my very first Instant Thunder and getting up, sharing my story, and not one person judged me.
That's right.
Not one person said, oh my God, he's bad. No, everybody embraced me with open arms. I know there's some of you out there right now, y'all need to be embraced. Y'all need somebody to believe in y'all. Y'all need somebody to lift you up from your situation right now. I'm telling you, if you here with the Alliance right now, you have found it right here. I just need you to believe it is here. I didn't need nobody to point the finger at me and judge me. That's not what I needed.
That's right.
I needed somebody to say, hey, it's going to be okay. I needed that mentorship. My wife needed that mentorship. And we found that.
That's right.
And Mr. Andy Albright and the Alliance and Miss Diane Lampy. Oh my God, that lady is a godsend.
Yes.
I can call Miss Diane Lampy at any time of the night, and she takes my calls and talk to my wife and I. All our decision makings, we run it by Miss Diane Lampy. No, none of us are perfect. Here's what my wife and I learned. Our thought process got us to where we was at. And we understood that if we want to get better, we had to accept where we was at.
That's right.
And relinquish the reins to somebody that was better than us.
That's right.
And that's what we did. You know, we take advantage of the resources that the Alliance has available.
That's right.
When I say we taking advantage of the resources, I'm talking about first the mentorship that we get here. I had mentors in my life before, but nothing like what I have today.
Right.
Because the mentor I get today is not just about the business.
That's right.
It's about James Coleman becoming a better man.
That's right.
A better father. A better husband. A better friend.
That's right.
A better colleague. The same thing for my wife. My wife's going to fly out to Dallas the week after Instant Thunder to spend some quality time with Miss Diane Lampy. You know, my so-called other mentors I have, like, they mentored me, but it was about, hey, how can we get you to the next level in corporate America?
That's right.
And sold me this pipe dream that, hey, the sky's the limit. And the sky wasn't the limit, because at my position, you know, there was 400 of us competing for 76 positions, and the 76 people was competing for 8 positions. Then the 8 people was competing for 2 positions.
Now, you've been in a pyramid.
And the 2, that's that Christmas tree.
Hey, Christmas tree.
It's that Christmas tree, Terry. And so, what we found today is that the people, the leadership, and Mr. Andy Albright and the system want to raise us up to become better people. You know, to raise us up to help more people, to serve more people, to serve our community, and take the focus off of us. Now, granted, you got to pay your bills, right? You want to do that, but you got to grow. Your income will not grow past you.
That's right.
Based on where you're at. The highest level of learning is application.
That's right.
If you're not applying anything that you're reading and learning, it makes no sense. You have to apply it. You know, so the advice and stuff that we get, we put it into action. And we're just watching what it is that's happened to us with the Alliance.
Right.
I walked away from that $165,000 job, and what I found and where I'm at today is mind-blowing. Because my first 12-month calendar year with the Alliance, we made $163,000. Last year, we made $210,000. And this year, we're on track to make $300,000. And here's what I know.
Tell it.
When Mr. Andy Albright say, hey, James, you can get up here, it's believable.
That's right.
And guess what? He's vested into making sure I get there.
That's
From his leadership, Miss Diane Lampe is vested in making sure I get there with the leadership.
That's right.
If I don't get there, it ain't going to be because of this system. It ain't going to be because of Mr. Andy Albright or Miss Diane Lampe. It's going to be because of me if I don't.
That's right.
And I'm here to tell you right now today, my wife and I and our team, we will get there.
That's right.
We will get there.
That's right.
The question is, will you get there? Will you become transparent enough and welcome this community?
That's right.
So you can belong. What's the saying? You get to belong before you even know how to behave.
That's right.
You know, too many people trying to figure out if they fit in. Of course you fit in. We're going to accept you as you are. We're going to love on you, and we're going to help you. You just need to accept being a part of this community.
That's right.
You know, so what I want to do, I want to give it back to Mr. Terry Edwards, because he got a story to tell. And like I said, we've been running buddies since 2015, watching each other, you know, grow and talk to each other on the phone and sharing some best practices and everything. And I'm just grateful and honored that I had the pleasure of meeting Mr. Terry Edwards when I did, because neither one of us knew at the time what kind of struggle we both was going through. You know what they say? You either going through a storm, getting out of one, or you about to go through one. And we was both in one on our way out of it. So to be able to be transparent with one another about what we was dealing with and be able to lean on each other, it's huge.
Yeah, it is.
It's huge. So Terry, hey man, I appreciate you, buddy.
Thank you, baby. Love you, man.
Love you, buddy.
Woo! That's right. Y'all do that for my buddy, James. Oh man, that's right. So, man, so many similarities, bro. We didn't even know. Like when I first met James, like we can dress up a mess.
Yeah, we can.
You realize when we meet people, we're meeting a dressed up mess.
That's right.
Because we dressed up messes. That's just the way it is. We don't look like people. Most people don't, like on their Facebook profiles and stuff like that, they're giving you like the highlight reel. They're not taking you
Terry.
in the back room when, you know. So I grew up down about 3 hours east of here in a little town called Conway, North Carolina. Northampton County, one of the poorest counties in North Carolina. The average salary today for an individual is $18,000 a year. Today. And that's doing hard work, like manual labor, like back-breaking work, you know, in mills, on farms. Y'all know farmers don't get paid overtime? So you could be out plowing, you know, tractors go slow. You can't just go out there and tear the peanuts up. You know, you got to go slow, stay in the rows, and then pick it up, turn that joker around. You could be in one field all day long and make like $7.25 an hour. You know, I could drive home right now and see people picking tobacco with their hands with a tractor. Like, that's work. You know what I'm saying? So I won't never afraid of work, but my mama told me, go to school, get good grades so you can get a good job. Well, she didn't really have to tell me because I didn't like that type of work. I did it because I had to. I did work on a farm for a little bit, but I ain't like snakes. Like, I didn't like the whole farm concept. Like, going to feed the pigs. Like, when pigs are hungry, them jokers will bowl you over. Like, I didn't like none of it, but I had to do what I had to do because my mom raised me and my brother by herself. We grew, like I said, a little small town, about 700 people. And everybody knew everybody's business because 700 people, you can to everybody. And I never grew up like ashamed of where I was from, but some of the situations that I always found myself in, I never liked them. So I always had a drive to get out of there, you know. So she ain't really, I ain't want to do none of that type of work. So I went to college and was blessed enough to get a full scholarship to go to college. And one of the things that I want to talk to you about is just about your sphere of influence. Because what a lot of us are fighting right now is our normal. You see, where I come from, making $18,000 a year is normal. When people come into our meetings, they're coming with their perspective of what is normal to them. And when we start talking about you can make $18,000 a month, wait, what? Where I grew up, that's what people made a year. Mm-hmm. So sometimes we have to remember that everybody has different perspectives. So my perspective was I was going to go to school so that I didn't have to work one of them manual labor jobs, and I like to dress up too. So I wanted to look good going to work. So I majored in business and started working in credit unions part-time. I always worked, never afraid of work. So even in college, I was going to school full-time. I was in the band. And if you go to if you're in a college band, you know you practice 2 days for 2 times a day for 2 weeks straight. And then every night from 6 to 9 was regular band practice. And then from 9 to 11, you would have sectionals. So that was all, and then I would go to class from like 8 in the morning to 3. I would go to work at McDonald's from 3 to 5. I would go back on campus. So never afraid to work, right? Well, just doing what you had to do. But how many people know when you're doing what you have to do, you start getting a spirit of settling? Like, this is what my reality is going to be. Even though it's much better than the $18,000 a year, but this is now my new reality of just doing enough just to get by. So I started working in the credit union. So I went from working on the farm to working in McDonald's. You know, that was a step up, you know. I was going to slide around in grease all day. I ain't like that pig slop. But then I started working in the credit union. So I could put on some nice hard bottom shoes, go up in there, you know, and people respected that job. Just because you was in a tie and you was cashing checks, you know, that wasn't nothing major. But from where I come from, that was a big deal. So just continuing to grow and be uncomfortable, right? But still struggling, to be clear. Like, me and Tia started dating in high school, and I can remember in college, man, like, you remember, like, we would share a freaking 5-piece breadstick from Pizza Hut, and that was date night. You know, and was fired up about it. And go get a daggone cheap Winn-Dixie soda, 2 liter. You know, like, we were happy but still broke, just trying to figure out how are we going to get that dream life that we used to talk about. I remember, like, we would be on the phone. Back then, you just had the cordless phones, right? Your mama walked past the room, you weren't supposed to be on the phone, you just slide it up under the covers, right? But how many people know that you got a dream, right? So we would talk on the phone about what our life was going to be like, how many children we were going to have, what was our house going to look like, all that stuff. But then you're going through life and you're like, dang, them dreams don't seem like they ain't going to come to pass, right? So started getting promoted in the credit union world, went from being a teller to opening up new accounts to doing loans, and then they offered me a manager job in Winston-Salem. So we moved out to Winston-Salem. And in corporate America, I don't know if you know this or not, but to get promoted, either somebody got to die or somebody get transferred. Or you be the one that uproots your life to relocate to get a promotion. So what we would do was, for the first 8 years of our marriage, like we got married right out of college. Tia was a senior in college, and I had graduated. We got married, but every 2 years we were moving. We moved from Ahoskie to Winston-Salem. Stayed in Winston-Salem 2 years. All right, Tia, I want to get another promotion. She was like, okay. Like, I have a very supportive wife. Like, she always put herself on the back burner. So, because every time we would move, she would have to quit her job. I had a job. She would have to quit her job, apply for a new job, and then by the time she gets settled in that job, Tia, you know, it's time for me to climb that corporate ladder. They want me to move back to Raleigh. Oh, okay, well, I'm going with you. I'm like, good. So, but just imagine, every 2 years, and we still had that dream that we're going to be together, we're going to be successful, we're going to have a happy marriage, we're going to have a wonderful life. And then what I found out was, even though I was in that space, I thought I was doing so much, my perspective still was so small because I was only associating with one type of people. Does that make sense? So we moved again, and she was like, look, I ain't moving no more. And when I knew she said that, I knew we won't move no more. So we moved back to Winston-Salem, and I was like, well, I ain't happy with this credit union thing. This ain't pumping out the dreams. I guess we better start a business or something. So the first business, we started a janitorial business. We got us a bucket, a mop, and we bought a Jana King franchise. And I was like, okay, well, I ain't got time to be cold calling people, so they got a system. They're going to get the clients. We're going to provide the labor. So we started doing that, and we got that up to grossing about $30,000 a month. Tia had quit her job as a social worker at that time. And then she started wanting to have children. I was like, what in the world? Like, we busy enough. Like, what you want to do that for? So I was like, well, we have been trying to have a baby for a long time. Ever since we got married, she always wanted to be a mama. I was just about me and her, you know. So I was like, well, I don't know what's happening. I'm putting in work. It just ain't. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. So we started going through all these infertility treatments, right? So I don't know if y'all ever been through that. It's kind of like embarrassing a little bit, you know, like some of the stuff you have to do. Like, she had to give herself these shots, and then had to kind of like time it when we're supposed to, you know, have a private time or whatever. It like that stuff, it really it started tearing at our marriage, because it was just like, we just doing this to do that. I don't even want to do, I just didn't want it, like I wanted it, but not on those terms, Y'all get what I'm trying to say, right?
Terry?
So then I say, and then like they put her on this diabetic medication, metformin. I'm like, that's to treat diabetes, and they was like, well, they can use that to help increase your follicles and all this and that. I'm like, girl, you got the sugar. And so just going through that, having to go, and the disappointment when you think that maybe I did it right this time. No, baby. So we ended up, she said, well, let's adopt. I'm like, why you want to do that? Like, maybe it ain't meant for us to have kids. Maybe it's just meant for us to be me and you. We can work our businesses and we can go. So I was like, well, if you want to do it, you go sign the paperwork. I don't want no parts of it. Because in my mind, I didn't think I could love a child that was not biologically mine. I didn't know. I'm just keeping it real. So if there are people out there struggling, like, those thoughts are real, and so long story short, we ended up adopting 3 kids, 2, 3, and 4 years old at the time. So we went from 0 to 3 overnight, and it was a big adjustment at that time. If y'all seen What's Your Story, that video, Tia opens up and talk about dealing with depression and overcoming that. I remember the first Christmas that we had them, like, I was going through Toys R Us, like, you know what I'm saying? I was just throwing everything in the basket because I wanted it to be their first Christmas that was like perfect, and worked myself up into a daggone anxiety attack myself. After they opened up Christmas gifts that day, I had to go and lay down because I was just overworked in emotions. And Tia slipped into a state of depression. And I had never seen nobody go through anything like that. So I was working at the credit union. We had our business going, and she wasn't even getting out of bed. And I was just like, you know, I took time off of work. I was like, look, y'all, I got to take a week off to make sure stuff is right. So we fought through that, and she ended up overcoming that. But it was just like that dream was still there, but it won't coming out like we thought it was. Then we messed around and went to Las Vegas. And we started this other pyramid deal. So, okay, the janitorial business wasn't working too hot. So we started this pyramid deal and selling these travel clubs. And we went on a vacation to Las Vegas. And came back from Las Vegas, and Tia started talking about her back hurting and all this and that. Well, come to find out, she was pregnant. And we ended up having a baby. And that dream came true. So then I started having hope again. I was like, okay, all right, God, you said it was going to happen. And then I still had my day job, and we were just peddling this stuff, right? So I got named CEO of a credit union down in Georgia. In February 2015, we moved down there. Long story short, again, Tia uprooted. Well, she wasn't working a job then, so it wasn't no big deal. And she was, but she was 7 months pregnant, right? But this was going to be that breakthrough that I was looking for. This was going to be the one that, okay, the money is real good. We can move down here, stack up some bread for 2 years, 3 years, and then we can do what we want to do. Well, long story short, they rescinded the job offer after I got down there. Now, keep in mind, this was one of the happiest times of my life, but also I went to one of the lowest points of my life because I was having our first, like, biological child. So Tia's feeling babies kicking and stuff like that for the first time. She fired up about it, and I'm like, I just lost my job, and she want me to be, like, I don't even want to touch, like I can't. I got to pay for that thing to get out.
Pay for that thing. That thing to get out.
Like James said, when you making $100,000, we moved from North Carolina. We kept our house here. We was trying to sell that. We leased a house down here. Money was going fast, and I was scared. Like internally, I was like, I don't know how this is going to work out. I always believed in God. I never lost hope, but I didn't know how it was going to work out. So I got on Craigslist. I was just looking for day work because I needed to do something to get out of the house so that she couldn't see my true sadness of where I was, because I knew I needed to be strong. So if you're a man out there, or you're just out there right now and you feel like that the world don't understand the pressure that's on your shoulder, I would tell you, plug into this team.
That's right.
Because when I found the Alliance, like James said, I walked into that hot spot down in Atlanta, and it was just love. And I saw Glenn Lamb.
Glenn Lamb.
Glenn Lamb said that he was big country. That's what I call him, about 6'5", big old boy. And he said, I've been driving a tater truck all during the week. I just do this on Saturdays. I made $46,000 my first year. I'm sitting in that room. I'm like, if what he is saying is true, and if he can do it, dang, that's right. I know I can do this thing. And so I got my license, and Jason and Olga had placed the ad, and I said, look, y'all, I'm going to get done with class in a day and a half. He was like, yeah, I heard that before. I was like, all right, I'm going to show you. So I did it. And that first 30 days made $8,000. I was fired up because for the first time, I was like, this is it. Mm-hmm. This is the vehicle that can give me financial freedom, not to be tied to a 9-to-5 job. Because how many people know that good is the enemy of great? Mm-hmm. You see, PTO is good, but it comes with a cost. Huh? They're going to tell you when you can go, when you can't go. Mm-hmm. They don't care what the situation is. They got control over you. The people be like, my boss can't control me. I say, yes, they can. How? By the money they pay you. They can dictate where you go, mm-hmm. where you live, how you vacation, where your right. kids do. They get to control you. They get to control it. And I bust up in that hot spot, and I was like, okay, I can get with this, because I was looking for a place that I could call home. I felt like I was just a wandering nomad, Because the other company that I was with, once I decided to devote my attention here, okay, this is the deal. I was making $2,000 a month in the other pyramid deal, and I made $8,000 over here my first month. I was like, $2,000, $8,000. Bye.
Bye. That's right.
See, it's a book that I read called the Bible, and it's a boy in there named Elisha. Elisha and his daddy, they were farmers, right? Elisha was just plowing the field because that's the only thing that he knew, right? That's what he thought was for him. But the moment that he was introduced to something greater, he dropped something lesser. So what I'm telling you is this right here. A lot of times we get very busy in doing stuff that is really lesser, and the thing that can provide greater, we don't go all in with. Why don't we go all in? We don't go all in because, I'm going to tell you why I don't go all in. I didn't go all in when I first got started because I wanted to be able to protect my ego and say, well, if it don't work, I didn't give it all I had. It was about me protecting me. It wasn't about the alliance. It wasn't about Andy or none of that. It was about me protecting me. So I'm telling you right now, if you're sitting in your living room right now and you watching your computer or you watching it on your cell phone and you have had a measure of success here, but you're still hanging on to good, I give you permission today to pursue greater and drop lesser. So I came for the money. But gosh knows, when I met Andy and Jane, it was a done deal. I had never met people who were truly working. See, when I left that other company I was making $2,000 a month for, I went from being a celebrated field person that helped build the North Carolina market to when I decided to focus on this and get my family situation, they deleted me off of Facebook, off the group page, they deleted me off the team pages, they took my pictures down. How in the heck did I go from being a frenemy to an enemy within a spirit of 12 hours?
Yeah, that's
and then it's crazy talk, but that's the way people would do you in a transactional relationship. See, in a transactional relationship, it's all about what are you doing for me. But over here at the Alliance, we ain't transactional, baby. We relational. We want to get to know you. We want to get to know what you are looking for. What are your goals and aspirations? What are your insecurities? So that we can love you. Paul Roberts said this at the family reunion. A lot of times we're so focused on lifting people's checkbook when we got to lift their spirit, and once you lift the spirit, the checkbook will follow. See, when me and James came to the Alliance, it wasn't about money. We were freaking broken. We were broken financially, but more importantly, our spirits have been broken. Can you imagine working in the industry for 16 years and then on an email, it's over just like that? No health insurance, a pregnant wife? Come on here now. Can you imagine that? Now, I'm not saying that to have a pity party, but come on, that 16 years, you heard, every 2 years moving, uprooting my family, and that's what they gave us. And then over here, they was like, come on in, we'll love on you. And then I let them introduce, and then I started to open up. And the more that I open up, the more that they open up. Because we can't lean to our own understanding.
That's right.
See, I was at the point of thinking that we should file for bankruptcy. And I'll never forget it. It was, we called it leadership, which is then what we call family reunion. It was the first year we was making money, but I still felt the pressure because the enemy was in the back of my mind telling me, what if you have a bad month? You've been on salary all these years, and then you got to pay for your own health insurance. What you gonna do now, dummy? What you gonna do now? Like I was embarrassed because I had moved my family down there and it didn't work out. I was like, what in the world? People in the church knew what we had done and everything. So I had those thoughts, and then I wasn't all in even at that point. I went on a job interview in Charlotte to a little podunk credit union. Like I worked at big ones, right? I went to this little one. This little one, I could run the whole thing out my bathrobe. But I went to that interview, and they told me, now the credit unions, they got volunteer boards of directors, so they're not even full-time people with business degrees, a lot of them. But they told me, well, you could be a good number 2. but you could never be a number one. I'm like, how in the heck can you tell me that I can't do something that I do every day and you ain't never done? At that point, that's when I got mad. And I was like, the hell with that. If I'm going to bet the farm from this point on, I'm going to bet it on myself. And I ain't got to bet just on myself. I got a team.
That's right.
That I can bet on that's going to help us get through this thing. So if you're wondering, is this a place that you can go all in? I'm telling you, if you look at these two examples right here, this is a great place to go all in because first of all, you're not going to be judged. You could come just like you are. Me and Tia sat in that office, and Andy said, can Jeff Bright sit in? And at that point, I really didn't know Jeff like that. I was like, I don't care. So Jeff sitting in the corner, and I told Andy my plan. I said, man, I'm going to file bankruptcy. I'm going to do a deed in lieu of foreclosure so they can take the house, right? But they can't come after me if they lose any money on it because I did a deed in lieu of foreclosure. And we'll get a 3-bedroom apartment, pay about $700, $800 a month rent for a couple of years. That'll ease the pressure off it. And they looked at me, he was like, you could tell he was like, that just don't make no sense. But he was real nice about it. And he looked at Tia, he was like, Tia, you okay with that? He was like, y'all live in this big 5-bedroom home now and you're willing to go? Tia was like, my wife is a ride or die. She was like, yeah, he was like, but that'll be comfortable for a month, but y'all got 4 kids, you know? And he was like, look, and Jeff Bright said, do you know the difference between a buffalo and a cow? And at this point, I'm thinking, what the heck? What
did I got to do with this?
I'm talking about filing bankruptcy, and this fool over here talking about some buffaloes and cows. I was like, no, I don't know.
I don't think so.
But being transparent, my mindset wasn't right. So Jeff Bright said, listen, when you're going through a storm, a cow tries to outrun the storm. But a cow is slow. So you end up staying in the storm longer. Whereas a buffalo, when they see the storm, they run into the storm and it don't last as long. So I'm like, damn, I'm a buffalo.
That's right. That's right.
It increased my perspective and made me know that what I was going through was temporary and that other people have gone through it. So Andy talks about looking at the people that's 10 years ahead of us and seeing what their life is like. Looking at Paul Roberts get a brand new house after he built this business, overcome addiction, lost everything midway, and then rebuilt it again and winning. Oh my gosh, if Paul can do it, I can do it too. If Eric Belair and Bobby Belair, they sold the wedding bands off of their fingers to get to a convention, they had built up a cell phone business making over $250,000. They lost it all. But they came to the Alliance and rebuilt it. If Bobby and Eric Belair can do it, guess what? I can do it too. Diane Lappy laughed at this dude. He had the conversation about bankruptcy. That's why you got to hang out with people. He had the same conversation with Diane Lappy. And they were $28,000 in debt. He said Diane laughed at him. That's cute.
And we didn't know. Once again, it goes back to we was leaning on our own understanding. Look, when you don't know, you don't know.
That's
like
right.
Terry said, when you're going through something, hey, all you could think about is survival mode. What do I have to do? But when you become transparent and you accept you are where you are, and you're allowed to start listening to people that are better than you, things start to change. I tell you, look, you gave it all up for the Alliance. No more corporate America for you.
Man, I threw it away.
Threw it away.
Throw it in the bag.
I gave it all up. In fact, Terry, I had the company Dick's Sporting Goods reach out to me and offer me a store manager position for $100,000 a year salary. I said, look, I'm unrecruitable, unemployable, click.
Bye.
All up.
But this,
if you out here right now today, you're listening, there has to be a part in here that say, I'm willing to give it all up to gain everything.
That's it.
I'm willing to give it all up for the support, the community, the success, the mentorship. There has to be a part in you that say, hey, look, I'm going all the way. I'm going to commit. I'm going to run hard with Andy Albright and the Alliance, because that's what it was to me. I gave it all up. I don't care nothing about me going back to where I was.
That's right.
Because of what I found here. You got to be willing to give it all up. What about some of the tools that we got that help us, Terry?
The tools that we got, man. We got President's Club.
Oh, is that President's Club something else?
President's Club, man, will help you hire and train your staff. Will help coach and mentor your agents. Then you got
and when they come to town, Terry, they do a lot of loans with your people.
Lucero is lighting up the airways. Andy Lee, the lead performance team. Oh my gosh, I mean Clay, Evan, Cadence, Ashland.
They would get on the. They would get on the phone with your. They would get on the phone with your people, Terry.
Explain it to them
and walk them through what is the right lead mix. They'll look at the different demographics for them and everything, and let them know, hey, what's the medium household income, you know, and everything. For the life of me, I don't understand why people don't take advantage of that. You know, Andy Lee, go back to the President's Club. He'll host calls for your team, recruiting calls, so they can hear. Call your MC backup list for you. Why are people not taking advantage of it? I have no idea. Now, Terry, I've been here since 2015. You've been since 2015. I noticed some commonalities.
Talk to us.
Every conference I go to, I see you.
I'm there. Because one of the 8 steps of success is attend
all meetings.
It didn't say attend some.
That's right. It didn't say someone, right? I noticed, Terry, that I go to the Instant Thunders. You go to the Instant Thunder. In fact, there's an Instant Thunder coming up next month. September 19th to the 21st.
That's right.
If you have not went and got your ticket, I encourage you to get your ticket. You go to those things as well, Terry.
Everyone.
The hot spots.
Everyone.
You at the TWC, you hosting the TWC, you know, I mean, activity calls. You know, if you are plugged in, you taking advantage. Why?
Well, see, this is the thing. I'm not only plugged in, but I done turned it on.
Turned it on, Terry?
See, you can plug a light in the outlet, it ain't gonna produce no light until you
turn it on.
Turn it on.
That's right.
The reason that I'm turned on now is because I got people depending on me.
That's right.
First of all, God is depending on me to be an example.
Be an example.
You can't help somebody if you need help. Huh?
Preach.
We done got the WWE Foundation that Andy done started.
That's right.
You know,
Worldwide
we got
entrepreneurs.
to help fund those projects to go over to India and feed them children over there. See, it's one thing to meet your needs, but God done called me to meet the world needs, right? And then I got my wife. She depending on me, you know. I want her to be able to, you know, Andy put this on Facebook the other day. Jane was test driving a new Jeep. And she was like, it retails for $50,000. He said, get 2. Like, I want to be able to tell my wife,
get 2.
Get you 2.
Get 2.
Get 2, and we ain't worried about balancing.
They ain't worried about nothing.
We ain't worried about it. You know, we got Andy Albright, who's dependent on us, and Jane, who sacrificed years to build this organization to what it is today. I mean, like, this is church, y'all. This is, the Alliance is how church supposed to be.
That's right. Yeah, it is.
You can come up in here heavy burden laden.
That's right. Come and get around this heat.
Come and get around it. We're going to lift you up.
We're going to lift you up.
We love you too much to leave you where you are. Because guess what? Somebody did it for us, James.
Yeah, they did.
When Eric McGriff and them welcome us in, and Brian Marshall and them, that's why I do it. I got to do it because my children. My children are going to go to college, and I don't want them worrying about the cost.
The cost, that's right.
I want them to go where they want. If they don't want to go to college, I want to fund their dreams. That money ain't an option. Like, you follow what you want to do, and I'm going to be there.
And I agree with you, Terry. You know,
why you turned on?
Here's why I'm turned on, because I'm building a legacy for my family as well, Terry. Right. You know, somebody asked me what was my schedule look like, right? And I told them what my schedule like Monday through Sunday to all the way through Saturday. And they said, James, you work doing something with the Alliance every day? You do NAA every day? am NAA.
That's right.
I have to create this legacy for my children. They didn't ask to be here,
See,
Terry.
this is the art of living, bro. When you
Exactly.
can't determine, you can't decipher the difference between work and play. Can you?
We love what we do. That's why, Terry.
We working, but we having a blast.
We're having a blast doing it,
We
baby.
gonna be doing it over in Paris.
Woo!
We gonna travel the world together. Like this is a little brown boy from Conway, North Carolina. The only thing
Straight
I
from
was
her.
looking for was a shot, baby. I
we
wanted
got
a
it.
shot. I couldn't run fast. I couldn't jump high. They wouldn't pick me to play basketball. I'm too big now and too old to play football. But I can run these lips. I can push them buttons,
That's right,
baby.
That's right. Hey, Terry, I was talking to my wife the other day, and my wife was like, "Do you know we are living better than when we were when you was making $165,000 a year with a guaranteed income?" See, I'm like you, Terry. I come from the hood. That's what we call the hood. Well, I got 10 brothers and sisters. 10 brothers and sisters, and we live in a 2-bedroom apartment. Mom and Daddy turned the living room into a bedroom for them. Y'all got, look, going to school with holes in the bottom of your sneakers. You know, they gave out free lunch, and mama made us go and switch shirts to go get an extra free lunch because that was going to be dinner. It was rough coming up. So for me to live the life I live today, and for me to have the opportunity I have today because of Andy Albright, God dang, I give it up all over again and start all over, Terry. All over again.
I give it up, man, because guess what? We're fighting for freedom now.
Yeah, we is.
The mission is freedom. You see, freedom is not freedom to do what you want when you want. Freedom is that you go out here and create the lifestyle that you want, and then you pull others as you're climbing. And that's the thing that I love about Andy is his dream is study expanding. Y'all realize that the boy ain't got to work no more if he don't want to.
That's right. That's right.
But he get up every day for your dream, for your dream, for your dream, for our dream. His dream is continuing to expand so that a little brown boy from Conway can take care of his family and not be worried about corporate America. That when Christmas comes, we're not asking our kids to sacrifice. Well, if you had to pick one, which one would it be?
Those days over with, Terry.
Generational blessings.
That's right. Yes, sir.
Coming.
See,
We're showing the world needs the alliance because guess what? The world is judging everybody right now.
yeah, it is.
John McCain just died and people are arguing, was he truly an American hero? Ain't that the stupidest thing you can
What
ever
that
hear
book
of?
got Inside the Circle of You?
Yeah,
Y'all better get back to that book.
You know?
Y'all know that book, Inside the Circle of You, it's about you minding your business.
That's right.
And you worrying about what you can't control.
That's right.
And don't worry about anything else.
That's right.
Understand this. The dream is free.
The hustle is so separate.
The hustle is so separate. Believe that. You got to get out there and make it happen.
And
You got to be willing to make some sacrifices.
And here at the Alliance, you will see somebody that looks like you winning.
There you will.
This is the one of the most equal and fairest opportunities that I ever been
Ever seen in my life.
Because in corporate
Ever.
America, they judging you, baby.
Yeah, it is.
You ain't the right color.
You ain't the right color.
You ain't the right sex. Too much. Too little. You didn't the right butts. You didn't go to lunch early. Then you got your co-workers. Such and such. She got on open toes. You know you don't supposed to wear open toes in the bank. You know, it's just silly stuff.
See, you know what we got to do, Terry? We got to get people to believe. We got to get people to believe in them. They got to believe in their alliance and believe they can accomplish whatever they set their mind out to do.
That's right.
And they got to stop focusing on what they can't control. You know, I said it last night in the hot spot. Where attention goes, energy flows, and results shows. Where are you putting your attention? Where are you putting it at? And when you come in contact with somebody, you are either going to affect them or infect them.
That's right.
You make a choice what it's going to be. And they're going to do the same thing. They're going to affect you or infect you. I don't want to be infected with nothing negative.
That's right.
So I stay away from those kind of folks.
That's right.
I don't have time. I want Andy Albright and Miss Diane Lampy to continue to affect me.
That's right.
Affect my family. Because it allows me to become a better me.
That's right.
That's about the same for you, Terry?
Man, I'm fired up about it, man. I'm just so honored and thankful to be a part of this company, to be a part of this team, it don't even feel like work. It feels like family.
Yeah, it does.
Like we're fighting for our cousins. We're fighting with our brothers. We're fighting with our uncles if you're a little seasoned and things of that nature. You uncles around here. Like we got Uncle Charlie that just got started last night up in Greensboro. But I'm going to tell you like this right here. The strawberries are ripe. You better get your basket. Because Clay them are pouring it on. Albright is investing like crazy. He's flying all across the United States of the Alliance. We're bringing people together, man, like never before. When you come into our hot spots, those are places of safe place. Those are places of refuge, a place of rejuvenation. It's a place where you can dream again. It's okay to go all in. See, they'll tell you stuff like you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. But if you build this business wide, baby, you got several baskets. You got money coming from this leg. You got money coming from this leg. You got money coming from this leg. The whole United States of the Alliance is our playground, baby. Right. And the world is where we get to enjoy it. We going to Paris, baby. Yeah, I know you're qualified. All these people are qualified. Get your leads, baby. We want you in Paris. We're going to sit at the Eiffel Tower. We're going to drink a little wine.
I'm going paragliding.
Huh?
I'm going paragliding.
It's going to rub off on you. Ain't doing that.
Yeah, I'm going. We're going to talk him into it. We're going to talk him into it. We're going to take him on the...
Hey, we're going to see the Eiffel Tower. We're going to see the Mona Lisa. We're going to have a good time, guys. Yeah. Listen, if you're not having fun, you probably ain't making the money and you can't make a difference. So let's master this. Let's go out this week. Let's have fun. Let's make money. Let's make a difference. Alliance, TWC, we out. Love y'all.
Love y'all.